All right, what's going on, guys? It's Open Championship week. This is really one of the best week. It is the best week of the year for me. I've covered a few in the past. I think I've covered four in the past. And getting up early here in the States is the best, right? Getting up at 3 a.m. or 2 a.m., whatever time you like to get up and watch the Open. It's a lot of fun. So let's look at some bets for this week. Subscribe if you like the content, but top 20s and top 40s we're going to focus on right here. What players are we looking at? I like players in really good form. I'm going to start with Corey Connors. For a top 20, he's plus 240 on DraftKings, and Corey Connors really has played well recently. Look what he's done. Two top tens in his last three starts, including a T9 at the US Open, which is tough to do. Got to be a good ball striker, a good iron player, and that he is. When you look at his shots gained approach, he's fourth on the PGA Tour this year, playing really well with his irons. He's sixth in shots, or excuse me, sixth in greens in regulation, which is huge at an Open Championship. You need to be hitting greens. You need to be in the right spots around these greens on these links courses at Troon. And then he's 19th in total driving, so he's got the driver working this year. And then on top of that, seventh in shots gained, tee to green. So overall, he's got really the ball striking down. So look out for what Corey Connors can do. I think he's a player that you've got to look out for just because really recent form and then playing well at the Scottish. He finished T10 at the Scottish. We saw what Cameron Smith did a couple years ago, finished in 10th at the Scottish as well, and went on to win at the Open Championship. So it's good to see the good form coming out of Corey Connors. Another top 20 pick you can look at. I really love Cameron Young. And the reason why you love Cameron Young, well, two times he's played in the Open Championship. And what has he done? He's produced a second place finish in Scotland by one stroke. He missed out to Cam Smith in a playoff, making a playoff. And then the very next year, he plays in the final group, plays his way into the final group, which is so hard to do. Through three rounds, he is the guy that played with Brian Harman in that final group on Sunday. Harman, of course, wins. Cameron Young finishes eighth and a tie for eighth, but still, that is so invaluable. That experience that he would have gained playing with Brian Harman, seeing how it's done, seeing how you finish an Open Championship, and that only his second at that time for Cameron Young, a huge deal for him. So he's going to take that into this event, and look what he's done in his last two starts, T9 and a T6, really impressive stuff from Cameron Young. So look out for him. He's plus 230 for a top 20 this week. So I think you've got to look out for that opportunity. It's too good an opportunity to pass up, honestly. He's played basically off the tee. He's 18th shots gained, and he's also 31st in distance. I think that's huge on links courses. He's going to have a great advantage. He says in the past that they play into his hands in terms of the conditions and just the way links golf, the way that it fits his eye. So this is a player that you've got to look out for this week for a top 20. Aaron Rye for a top 20. Look out for him this week on DraftKings. He's plus 210. Really impressive player. What has he done recently? Well, okay. Final group in two of his last three events. In his very last event in the Scottish Open, what does he do? He finishes T4. I just love the experience that he has in the final group. I know he didn't win at John Deere. I know he didn't win at Rocket Mortgage, but it goes T2 at Rocket Mortgage, T7 at John Deere. And look at his stats. They're so impressive. There's a reason why he's playing so well, right? Fourth in shots gained total. He is third in scoring average this year. You need to have that at the Open Championship. You've got to make a lot of birdies. You've got to stay in the mix. When the wind comes in, the rain comes into Troon. That's huge. And then he's 10th in scrambling. I think just around these greens at Royal Troon, you need to have a player that's so confident with his ability to chip and then in some cases putt. And he grew up on links golf. He knows how to play these kinds of courses. He's got the form. Aaron Rye is a really solid pick for a top 20 this week at Royal Troon. And then let's go into top 40s. Sepp Straka is negative 105 on DraftKings for a top 40. Sepp Straka, really impressive player and what he's been able to do. He's got two top fives and a T23 in his last six starts. Okay. I know he missed the cut at the Scottish Open, but that's not going to make too much of an effect here. This guy played so well in the Open Championship last year. He was T2 when it's all said and done, but he was really around the lead for a lot of that final round. This wasn't like a backdoor top two finish for him. He was really under the pressure and close to that lead. I know that Harman won by quite a few shots, but still being in the mix, seeing his name so close through most of the day is a big deal, I think. 38th in shots gained off the tee, 41st in green regulation, so he's going to hit a lot of greens for you at Royal Troon. That's important in links golf. You've got to stay in position. He's 32nd in shots gained approach, so this is an iron player that knows how to get it done. He loves to hit that little draw. That's his consistent play out on the course. So look out for Sepp Straka this week. Akshay Bhatia. Akshay Bhatia, negative 105 on top 40 for this week in the Open Championship. This guy has been on fire. He's been in the last two groups on Sundays in his PGA Tour starts. T2 in his last start in the final group there. He owned that. I love what he did. He owned it when he had that three putt, didn't get it done on the 72nd hole. Immediately said, hey, it sucks. And, you know, just part of the game. And he's basically not avoiding it. He's going right to it and owning it. I love that part of it for him. Final group as well, T5 at the Travelers, where he played with Scotty Scheffler and those guys in that final group, Tom Kim. And he was really that close. I think that's so important. That kind of experience is so critical for a young player like Akshay Bhatia to have that at Travelers as well, even if he didn't win, even if he was 4 shots out of a playoff. Look at his stats, though. He's 10th in shots gained total. He's 17th in shots gained approach. You need to have really good iron play at Royal Troon on these links courses. Keep giving yourself chances to make birdies. Stay in the game. Stay in the mix. His putting, he's really turned around. He's up to 27th in putting, and he's 30th in driving accuracy. Got to hit those fairways, got to stay in the mix and give yourself scoring opportunities, realistic scoring opportunities on the correct side of these fairways. So that's critical for what Akshay Bhatia can do. So look out for him this week. And the last top 40 I have for you, I've got Russell Henley. He's negative 110 for a top 40 on DraftKings. And Russell Henley, what a player he's been recently. Consistent. He has a top 7 in the U.S. Open. Well, really 3 top 27s in his last 3 starts, and one of them being in that U.S. Open. It's so impressive in the last major championship to have played so well. He's got a really good iron game and a really good overall game. He's 30th in shots gained approach, so that's going to keep you in the mix on these links courses at Royal Troon this week. You need to continue to give yourself looks, give yourself birdie opportunities on this golf course. And then what has he done beyond that? Well, he's 10th in driving accuracy, right? You have to be in the proper parts of these fairways to give yourself the scoring opportunity, to have the right angle of approach with these pot bunkers. You have to scope that out. And he has a really good ability to hit fairways, 10th on for the season on the PGA Tour. And then he's 26th in scrambling. You need to have that ability to get up and down on these greens here at Troon. So look out for Russell Henley for a top 40 this week. And those are my picks. Hope you guys enjoyed and take some insight from this, and subscribe if you like the content, and we'll catch up again soon.